Let's reset. It's okay. Let's reset. Is that the elevator sound that's stuck on the game? Is this a problem? Will this be a problem? That's interesting. That is the elevator sound. That's crazy. So yeah. I need to remember to follow my splits properly. Long run mode. Yeah, let's go. So I might as well get it perfect early on, right? Oh. Yeah, I didn't want to bother with rerouting the run so early over a mistake of forgetting input 423. It's not worth it. It's not worth re-rolling all that. Rerouting all that, rather. It's really unfortunate sometimes not getting the right hallway at the start. Oh. Are they like out of bounds? That's the out of bounds skip. Thank you for the 10 bits, Mania, for fuck's sake. When is the F1 race? Dutch, oh, Europe time, it's 9:30 p.m. So it should be, what, 2:30 in the morning for you? 3:30? Yeah. For some reason, it's on half hour. It's on the half hour because Miami wants to be different. So if you want to watch it, you can have a nap after the stream. Wake up right before F1, you know? Big brain. Completely break your sleep schedule. It's not worth it. It's not worth. A coffee on refusion. Okay, that works too. Ah, shit, don't restart the game here. I should be a short hallway now. No, it doesn't matter. And at least I can try waking up by driving having coffee. Yeah. So that's another thing I thought about that I need to work on. I need to figure out. I need to update my spreadsheets of like the traffic on the tracks on Project Homecoming, because the stats site is slightly outdated because Apple's has been very busy. So it's not having all the latest tracks added, which sucks because I would have, much easier to organize stuff like that. But I know there's a second website, like a better one or more up to date one, and I think it is up to date for the latest stuff, but I need to check on it. So I know that I have a feeling for the tracks for the random all that Buffy's gonna do today, I think I know the track he's gonna do it on, or I'm gonna suggest this track and he's gonna say yes. I'll go back to my state of half sleep. Okay. Oh yeah, traffic is like, yeah, I have an idea on how to showcase traffic. I have a really cool idea. Or at least a interesting idea to showcase the traffic. But I think there should be still sobering up. What the fuck?
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the
Enjoy your half sleep, Mania.
Just to admire it.
So sobering up, okay.
Truly a room worth admiring, but eager to get back to business.
Yeah, half sleep.
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Sleep better in full. I mean, yeah, a full nap is nice.
Directions. It's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Was drunk? Okay, no, okay. I'm not judging. Just an observation. It's okay.
Stanley had now
Get some sleep.
Off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. Was so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. Was so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun.
Yeah, I think there is a showcase on PH. I think it's gonna be a showcase because there's at least what, 2 new cars? I think there's 2 new cars on the server since the last stream. Maybe 3. Wait, it might be 3. I can't remember. It's been a while. It's at least 2. So there's that showcase, and then there's my idea to showcase the traffic.
Life being an unending waterfall.
Yeah, I might do that. I think it's a good idea.
How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us.
But yeah, if you're gonna watch Buffy's stream, you'll see that.
What you've done to me, this is all your fault.
Come on, game. Okay, another short hallway, not bad. I'd like to I have to get blue hallway at some point then.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes. This room.
Yeah, I'm not that heavy a drinker. I drink to get tipsy, and that's where I stop. Like naturally, just stop doing it. I'm not a hard crazy drinker. I will try drinks though. Like I'm kind of open to trying drinks, but I'm also like, don't make me drunk. Don't overdrink me.
Stanley leapt from the platform
and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley.
Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Okay, so I can get the skip now.
All of his co-workers were gone, but Stanley's...
Oh, first time gaming.
The pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere. When Stanley came to a set of
first try,
doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, I gotta remember I need blue hallway.
Yet there was not a
for whiteboard.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley stepped into the broom closet.
There was nothing here.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible. He didn't even have a single minute
Why is
to
best
just
time
let
going
the
up?
narrator talk. That kind of
I don't know.
anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a...
Okay, 423. 423. Don't forget 423. Don't forget 423.
Gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
There you go.
missed a memo.
We're good. Run is saved. We can continue.
Oh, new content? What does that mean? New content.
Run is redeemed.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable
Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere? Oh, here we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
The new content, Stanley.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if the... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Yeah, that could have been better, but got it.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, for goodness. Another elevator.
Goodness.
Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it?
That's it?
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend? Psst. Stanley, come over here.
Among Us?
In the vent. I want to show you something.
Among Us.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me
Among
thinking
Us.
about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and
FPS
tucked
test.
it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret.
There's a few drops, but
Take a look. I
so
call
far
it
so good.
The memory zone.
Let's see if
It's where I've
that
been
continues
storing
on.
all my favorite memories, so I can relive the peak experiences
good-
of my
this is
life
good progress so
whenever
far.
I want. Experiences
Interesting.
like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com.
James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote,
Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created.
did you hear that, Stanley?
Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content. Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game.
9 out of 10.
Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories. These were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical... Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to... What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything.
Nice.
So the narrator...
I wonder how that looked in the stream. Did that look smooth the whole time?
Of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
We hit another test. This
A
bit.
skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer. And here it is.
I think that has fixed it.
Oh,
Interesting.
You were only frozen in time for a few
That
minutes,
one
but
fix.
it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full...
Well, there's sport.
You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45...
Stanley,
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're... Oh, Stanley, you're back.
Nice.
You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks.
Oh, hello.
Hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about... But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end. Oh. Okay, encoding overloaded there. That's the first time I got that. Nice, it's finally giving me the encoding overloaded warning. It's okay. One more, then I go backwards. So that problem is an overloading coding problem. It's good to know that that's been sorted out now. But there's something else that's occasionally spiking this game. That's interesting, okay. Well, at least we narrowed down the problem. Now it's not happening as often, and the warning is popping up now, so it has narrowed down issues. And it's only dropping like to about 50 frames and then going back to normal. So it's not terrible. Could be worse. Not bad.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So I gotta do the infinite hole skip, and then Figley one bucket, and then move during the sequence. Okay, let's go.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
2. Yes, you see, Stanley.
Yes, Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with
A fully fledged sequel, an entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there's so many possibilities. It can go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really. Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
A bit rough, but we got it. Bit rough.
Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants
You're
to...
unusually fascinated by falling.
The hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much.
Not normal.
A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively... Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes.
Yes.
I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. Still nothing? Well, I suppose... collectibles.
Now it's a real video game.
In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of what... Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of it. God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely. Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4 seconds and 6 seconds.
Stanley
Okay.
Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy
So
to
4
say
then
that
6,
after much
okay.
consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if I've done it or not, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know what I've done or not. I don't think I have. That's the 20-second time loss. Because I need to move towards the exit during the screen. But normally, to know that I'm moving, you hear dialogue playing. So that lets you know like you're talking to people, right? But where am I? Where did I end up?
Stanley!
Yeah,
Oh, good.
dog shit.
It seems you have
I made a mistake. That's dumb.
That's Stanley. Because
Yeah,
this
that's
story
time.
is
That's
just
time
so
loss.
darn fascinating.
That's time loss.
To be wide awake
I mean, I can still recover. Yeah, I can still recover, but
Stanley
that's
Parable
annoying.
2 is just so much catchier
The
than
door
Ultra
opens.
Deluxe
The door opens
version.
outwards. I need to
Ultra
note that
Deluxe?
down.
What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2.
Hi, yeah.
Now that's an artistic statement. All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move
Very
on
sad.
now?
This won't be a time loss in this split, but it'll be a time loss in the next split.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features?
Ah,
Yes, I know it's not exactly
could have been
clear
better.
yet how exactly these features will
Could have been
together
better.
as one single coherent.
Well, there's time loss here, lol. Yeah, I can recover this, but yeah. Oh well.
New features together, and
I
we'll
forgot the
see
door
whether or
opens
not it
outwards.
coheres into a meaningful gameplay
Josh
experience.
speedrunning. Yeah, I believe. Yeah, there's still time. I can make this up.
Are you ready?
I can make this
Here
up.
it
It's
is.
okay.
I give you
It's still early.
the
Still early.
Parable 2.
I'm still ahead of balance, so it's okay. It will be like a 20 something,
Well,
maybe 15-second
there's
time
potential
loss.
here, right? It's
So I might
sort
be
of-
just -1 at this point.
Hold on.
We'll
Let me
see.
do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go.
Version 2.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's
The
a
load
lot
of gags.
And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait,
Maybe that's it.
I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really
Here it is.
tremendous title screen.
Bosh.
A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, this is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Nice. Nice. Apartment, okay. Apartment.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime.
A work of art.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all
It's time.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking... This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside.
To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. Wife. It does a early wife. Early wife reveal. Don't. Gaming. We're good. We are good. Ah, yeah.
Is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Wife.
This is a very sad
Wife.
story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow.
Wife.
A job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world,
Kitchen
he began to
area.
fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be?
Wife is gone. We've lost a wife.
Is pushing the same
Run, ruin. We lost a wife.
The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this. That in this world he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. I tried again.
There we go.
And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button.
And I try. Nice. Love Bond now. And I need blue hallway. Cause I haven't gotten blue hallway yet. Come on, game. Do it. Thank you. Blue hallway.
All of his co-workers were
Whiteboard.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley picked up the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge
Was simply the place to be.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind.
The bucket was wrong.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo, good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top.
Okay.
There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the...
Don't gaming.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him. The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head. Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me. Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else. You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is this awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal. It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of
Shiny bucket.
Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it. Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another. Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket? Oh no, I'm having feelings. For the bucket. No,
For the bucket.
No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes, the bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
Go back to work, Stanley. Has been that creepy voice as well. Insane. BC2. Yay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief. Oh no, not again. We're coming to a staircase. Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. But Stanley just
There you go.
couldn't do it. He considered
Now I'll be right
possibility of
back.
facing
We have
his
6
boss,
minutes of cutscene.
admitting he had left his post during work.
I'll be right back.
He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley
I'm
felt
dreaming.
to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How
This
could
was
it
not
be?
a dream.
Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just...
He would prove
He would
it.
prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
I am okay. Stanley began screaming.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I?
And everything went black.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed,
That's not
gathered
polished
her
to watch
belongings,
Buffy's
and
session
ran to her place of work.
on my
But on
tablet.
this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man
Who would stumble through town talking and screaming to himself.
and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered
encoder
the
overload.
strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Nice. Yay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs.
Okay.
What about
Stanlerines.
Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt. Okay, I think we all...
Gaming. Nice. We work hard, play hard, do 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 do. Might up the Spotify volume just a bit, so I can vibe to the music while in cutscenes of this game, or basically cutscenes. Nice. Time loss cause hallway RNG. It's okay, whatever, we move. Boss Figley, then down elevator. The bucket ending as well, okay. I don't think that's the hallway. Yep, that's not what I want. Nope. 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 There you go.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of
So stickers, do stickers first.
tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Do stickers first, and then you gotta do Figley 4.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The
There you
broom
go.
closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day.
There's
This
40
broom
seconds
closet
difference
believes
between
it deserves the bucket.
my
I
splits
can really feel it now.
in-game
It's a
and
bucket. It
live
belongs
split.
in a broom closet.
So I would
That's what
say
the broom
I'm...
closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go
I don't
with
know.
other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in.
Let's
Don't
see how far
hand
ahead
over
I
the
am,
bucket.
or behind
I know
on
how
live.
hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong.
Look at the
This is your
averages.
bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the
There
broom
you go.
closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship
Well,
towards
I
any
never.
inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner?
Well, I never.
Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it. Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet. with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things. All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well, because coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Cringe. Those bosses, Figley, and then movement down. Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes. This is certainly the most logical explanation. Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanley...
When is the MLS 6 out? I have no idea.
What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the...
I have no idea with
The elevator raced
those
down,
schedules at all.
plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Pause help to turn off facility. Okay.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being
2 p.m.
videotaped,
GMT.
monitored
Ooh.
like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this. And
When
it
is that
very
happening?
nearly
Like, what
burst into tears
day?
As Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter.
Never.
His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled
Yeah, I
with
watched a
emotion,
bit of his stream
happy,
yesterday or the day
sad,
before,
walking,
and he got
each
so
of
many
working, all of it
1x's
monitored
just
and
for
commanded from his
tiny
very
off
face.
tracks.
And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley did...
There you go. Nice. I felt a bit slow because of the bad hallway RNG, but it's okay.
Stanley and the bucket.
It's not live that we're comparing, it's
Was it over?
in-game. That's why I hate Epilogue. Yeah.
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine.
It seems crazy harsh in Epilogue. The track limit's crazy
The two of
harsh.
them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and... What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place, not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
There you go. I deserve to be body that's fly as me. Body that's fly. Hello, bloody squirrels. Welcome. Hope you're well. Hey.
All of his cope, the confusion and the chaos, all seemed to melt away as Stanley clutched
Gaming.
the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was.
But the bucket turned out to be direct.
No, never mind.
Nice.
The bucket was wrong.
Very cool.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift.
You're getting close now, Stanley. But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation. of
Yeah,
himself
I'm
and
gonna
the bucket.
ignore. Let's look
His
at
dearest
averages.
friend.
I'm ignoring.
So he thought
I'm ignoring
of
that.
death,
It's
that
not
he
worth
might
looking
die
at it
in
because
one of
I'm
his
changing my
arms.
methodology for
How
this run.
deeply touching.
There you go. Oh wow. Immediate.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley
I'm gonna
knew it
try
well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee
the
lounge
new
first,
strat.
just to admire it.
See if I
The
can do
lounge
it.
was grand, majestic, perhaps, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't.
Also play it
5
safe
years
with the
ago.
strat.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the...
There you go.
Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration
Nice.
for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something. And there it is.
So Zending is the
last
red
Stiggly
door.
Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley.
The last
This
Stiggly
is a real
Wiggly.
accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job
Why is it split
well done
at-
is its
what?
own reward.
Whatever.
I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting.
Let's go back on this then.
but that
That's
would be
weird.
like a reward, and we can't have that. So instead, I'll just say
It's done. We're all done here.
And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked
Through the red door.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop.
We would both be so much happier if it just stopped.
And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you. What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? No, wait. Where are you going? Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset.
Ah,
We'll
cringe.
lose all of this. Please,
Cringe.
Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about... No!
I didn't do it.
No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this? Stanley?
I need to find the trigger. I'm too late for the trigger.
Is this really how much
I think I know what
dislike
trigger
my
is. I gotta
game?
spam that
You'll throw
there.
yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
There you go.
Maybe you're just getting a kick out
Got
of
it.
I don't know anymore. I just
Got it.
wanted us to...
Gaming. I got it.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figures.
Oh, huge gold.
I haven't stopped thinking
Huge
about them
gold.
since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling
20
moment of your
oh,
entire
wow.
life? Didn't it fill you
I
to
feel
the
it's gonna be
brim
laggy
with
here,
inner
whatever.
richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines.
Just one more time. I need to practice that spam at the beginning because
Here's where it all began.
you can sort
The
of
first
overlap
Back then, we had no idea how many of
the
them
jump
we'd find.
counter, I guess,
Pointed
of that
right
ending.
there on the screen, but
And you can do
how could we even
four
fit?
damages at one
So
time.
innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
That's the goal.
And here was a second Stanlerine. I'll be honest, back then I had no faith in you to find any of them.
Let alone 6.
But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways. Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini stand? Can you remember? Hey, that's exactly right.
It was
here
there in
the
Boss's bathroom.
It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory. But
You got a
I shouldn't
purple
be
split. Let's
surprised.
go.
After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything. Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory.
I didn't do the.
so it
I said the
must have
faster way.
happened. This was the 5th mini stand, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Da-na-na-na-na-na. What's that back there? It's Mini Stand 5. You found it near the cargo lift. Thanks for watching. Takes you back, doesn't it?
I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else. And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them.
They're all collected.
It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like. And then
There was
there
no more.
because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future.
Goodbye, Memory Zone.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on.
Stop the loading screen.
Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels. Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going, I want more. And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Oh,
Yes,
I love that video.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one.
A good room though, a solid room.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting.
Nice, we're a third of the way through the run.
We resisted the temptation.
Gaming time, here we go.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the Figlerines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
The jump circle? 24 jumps, nice.
Look, it's the terrible new
Very good.
content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then. But time does... Oh, yes! The two doors! Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
Yeah, I don't know which one's faster.
And before
I don't think it matters too
it
much.
was your office.
I don't know.
Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm remembering something now. Okay, is it laggy in the stream? Because cutscene.
Got started. Back then I was
There it is.
I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll
Retire him for good.
I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story.
Yeah, this is a fake gold because I deleted the best of this split just because it was wrong last time.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh
Click
and laugh
song,
at the time?
click
I thought
yes.
everyone at first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map
Okay.
until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination.
Yeah,
of
why the
structural
fuck is this
narrative
890?
tropes. So,
I don't know.
Now that you're here, what do
That's
you
not
think?
right.
Isn't this a fun and great place to be? Why don't we take a minute
That's
just
wrong.
to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any
wait
time you want. Like right now.
I did it the wrong
You could
order.
have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own
Thought I
desires
fixed that.
to
Oh,
restart
my
the
bad.
game. So just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
Ah, my God. Okay, so I'll do. I will have to do murder next. Now I'll do voiceover now, and then I'll do song, and then I should be voiceover, then I should be back in sync. I messed up the ordering of this by accident.
What could it mean? Stanley
Curse my
decided to
splits
visit the
being
beast.
slightly
Love
wrong.
Spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was Stanley.
It's okay, we'll recover.
Cheek. Could his co-worker? Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear.
We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here
Pesky
in the
narrator.
wide world, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps, if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket.
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like... My God, Stanley, you did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
The voiceover. Yeah. The
All
song.
his co-workers were...
It should be voiceover.
Wait, no, this isn't the right office.
So why is the
it?
notes?
Is this Stanley's office? At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this
Yeah,
narration
I
and
swapped the notes
realized
by
it was
accident.
part of the game's design all along.
That's cringe.
He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes.
Hopefully it fixes it up.
Now that
Hopefully
you're
it
here, what
fixes
do you think?
itself
Isn't
later
this
in the
a fun
run.
and unique place to be?
Ay, ay,
Why
ay.
don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Ah,
There we go. There we go, fixed it. We fixed it. We're back. We're back. False gold there. I gotta fix that later. The game's not being nice to me today. Oh my god. There we go.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Here it in the game will tell me how to restart. Yeah.
Yet there was not a single person here.
Restart the game entirely.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his... Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Here's the door, just go.
Nice. Average is gonna be fucked, right? I don't know. Whoa, lag.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
Did he have the strength to find out?
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom met. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
Couldn't be
Had Stanley
true.
been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't.
I'll look this up during
accept it.
countdown,
His
but I have an
own life
idea
in
of
someone
the
else's
secret disco.
control? Never. It was unthinkable.
I wonder if that's
Wasn't
faster to do it that way.
Was it even possible?
Or possible to
Had
do
he
it that way.
truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or
Oh,
content.
bit stuck there.
Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Was it over?
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as
Yeah, I have a feeling that was
sunlight
possible.
streamed
Okay,
into
I just watched the
chamber,
video.
He realized none of
The
this
idea I
mattered
had.
to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool
Lag.
breeze of
There it is.
the feeling
That's
of
not bad
liberation,
before.
the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Okay, gotcha. Countdown. Ay, ay, ay. Oh my god, man, I'm fat fingering. I am fat fingering this now. Hi, yay. Yes. Thank you, game.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
This is just to turn on the facility.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to it. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs
Did it again.
to his boss's
Too far ahead.
office. Here's the door, just go.
Here's the door, just go.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom, this mind control facility.
There you go.
It was too
Gaming.
horrible to believe it couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it.
He couldn't accept it.
His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions.
Happy or sad or content.
Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that... Oh, Stanley.
Oh, Stanley.
You just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go. Turn the controls off and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say,
2 minutes.
Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
Dying alone.
Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge, it's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley.
So much waiting around.
30 seconds until a big boom.
Big stretch.
No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice.
Oh yeah, average and messed up. I skipped this segment, right? Yeah, whatever.
And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Yeah. Yay.
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never... Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket.
I
He
couldn't accept it.
His own life in someone else's control?
Never.
He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley did... But at the last second,
There you go.
the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley
I think right
was
now we're
prepared to throw the
currently
bucket away
on
in
pace
disgust.
for
An image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly
a
birds.
308, maybe 309 hopefully.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another.
Or 120, 116, 126
control facility at all.
apart. The times are different by 1 minute 26.
Silly birds.
So taking that away from best possible time, that should mean 309.25.
Disguise its true intentions.
309, that's the goal. At least it's 309, that's the aim.
Stanley marveled at the metal genius.
We'll see if I can actually get it.
The one who had pointed him towards
We're
his
just over halfway through the run now.
Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley
Was happy. Nice. Now I'm gonna try some time save here. Should be a big time save. Yay.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
I
he
don't
entered
know
the
how
door
it
on his
happened.
left.
Then look back.
Yet
Just
there
keep
was
your
not a
eyes
single
on
person
me.
here either. Feeling a wave of
Shut up
disbelief,
and
Stanley
dance with
decided to
me.
go up to it. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Here's the door, just go.
Dun 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 now. It's always loading into this map.
Stanley
The
walked
game
straight ahead
lags
through
just
the
a
large
bit
door
and then
that
gets back
read
to normal again.
Mind
That's kind of
Control
interesting.
Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
Did he have the strength to find out?
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals.
Yeah, after this I
reduced to
have
images
probably
on screen.
40 seconds
Stanley
cushion
forever
to do this skip.
Eternally monitored in this place where freedom met this mind control facility. It was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Okay, so when it hits 20 seconds, that's when I can spam this. Timer's 30 seconds after the dialogue ends. That's when you can open Secret Disco. Once the door reacts, I'm gonna have to press out of spam it. There you go. Huge, that's like what? 15, 20 seconds save?
Aha! You've made it to the bottom
Gaming.
of the mind control facility. Welcome. You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway,
Good for you.
when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours. So here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content? Always more content, more content, more. And I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game, with secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are. We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
You did it. Good job. You did it. Good job. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Good job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. You jumped on the catwalk.
You should have been careful. Should have been careful.
It used to be a bug, but
Now it's an ending. Now it's an ending.
I believe in you.
I believe in your ability to cross this barrier.
Chase your dreams.
Railings don't mean anything.
Good job, you did it.
Good job, you did it. X5.
You did it. Good job, 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 you did it.
Yeah, the Glod. Nice. Gaming.
All at the good old bucket. Just Stanley in the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
And entered the door on his left. So soon we should get through to the longer endings, which is nice.
Now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I'm getting it. I'm getting that now. That's good.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall. Now, what to do next, Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here. So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really wasn't so bad down here, a bit cold perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis.
And Ninis.
But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all. He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning. It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually. It's what the bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
Nice. Nice. God damn, man.
When Stanley came to a set of two
Museum
open doors,
ending, okay.
He entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to it. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Here's the door, just go.
I overshot the door, whoops. Am I back on sync yet? No.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word Escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death. As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, it reflected that his life.
That was
had been
loud.
of
I
no
apologize. I was
consequence
just changing my
whatsoever.
glasses to
Stanley
my
can't see
normal
the big
ones.
picture. He doesn't know the real
Oh, I didn't see
story,
it as well.
trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Alright.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
It'll just
And
be a
yet
few
it would be
minutes.
just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Laughter.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Nice.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be
There is a way to
walking
beat this
someone
game.
else's
Let's go
path.
to
Stick
Epilogue.
around, it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let
Time. Oh, she's dead. Oh man. No, come on. Gaming.
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs.
Why the fuck is sacrifice this early?
Stepping into his manager's office,
No,
Stanley
whatever.
was once again stunned to discover not an indication of
Sacrifice should not be this early.
code by sheer luck.
I don't. Why did I put it
Was
here?
The bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes.
That doesn't
this is
seem
certainly
right.
The most logical explanation. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read
Mind control.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them. As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death?
Has he
This is what
crushed to
Stanley thought
death?
himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
bucket goes poof. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
It was
Whoa.
a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Yeah,
Can
I'm
you see
starting to
how
feel
arrogant
the
it
effects
was
of
for
not having
Stanley to
lunch
pick a
yet.
bucket like
Stomach
this
feeling a bit
and to claim
hungry.
it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is... No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket
There has to be a
as
skip for this
dazzling to
area.
behold as this one. It is man
feel we can
who should
skip this
kneel
earlier.
before the bucket. But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I.
Nearly
that
time
will
for my
right this
Sunday
terrible
dinner.
wrong.
Oh, I'm so hungry.
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed
Still have
by the
another
machine.
hour
Don't
30
let him
left of this
escape.
run, I think.
Don't give him another
Ah.
opportunity to run off with another
I have cookies I can
We
eat.
can save the world's buckets from
Normal
the
chocolate chip
fools and
cookies, I could have that.
if only we
I need to
let
find
Stanley
the
die
ending that
together.
has a lot of
We should
cutscenes. I
take
can
on
just
faces
nom 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 nom.
leader as the
Probably
pioneer of
insane
the
bucket.
world, a new vision.
Oh, dead. Unfortunate time loss here, but it's okay. Oh wow, look at that.
A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket.
Why is
into
sacrifice
his chest,
here? I don't get it.
entered the door on his left.
Why have I put it in this part of the run? It shouldn't be this early.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and
I'm
comfort.
hoping I
far
haven't
more than
fucked something up.
Perhaps his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping in.
Okay, wait, before we continue, I need to check something. Okay, no, I haven't fucked something. I was worried that I may have deleted press conference lonely at some point, but I didn't, so okay, we're fine. Panic attack averted. Can't just guzzle down cookie, it need to be savored. Yeah, yeah, that's why I need to find the ending where I can just, you know, not play the game for a bit. I can just enjoy the cookies. I need the right ending for it. I think the next one's probably the best time I can get some. I can have some cookies. There's like, it said store brand cookies, so it's not like not like fancy or whatever. I mean, it's still good. It's cheap and I like it. But it's not like the fancy like soft cookies that are like much bigger, or like 10 centimeter diameter, something like the massive cookies. I want one of those. But I don't know where I can get them. I need to find like a place to buy because I want it now. I've talked myself into wanting to buy massive savory cookies. There's a cutscene here, but it's 10 minutes. It's a 40-second cutscene. It's not enough time. That's not savoring the food time, you know? Cookie Monster uncovered. No, the hand. Nice. Could be a glod. Wow, it's a massive glod. Massive Glod. You love first time shorts. First time good hallway. Yay!
Ah, the embrace of an old friend. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
I think I have time here. This would be like a 3.5 minute cutscene. I can have a cookie there.
Still no one was here.
I might finish the cookies I have. I have like 4 cookies left out of the 12 packet.
Perhaps his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it.
Okay.
He considered the possibility of facing
Cookie
his
time.
boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that.
Chocolate
and in
chip
such a
cookies.
competitive economy,
I have
why
4
have
left.
taken that risk?
I'll have
But
one
because he
now.
believed everyone had vanished.
I'll probably have one near
His
the
boss would
end
think
of
he
the
was
run.
crazy.
I think when I'm
And
doing like the choice
something
endings.
occurred to Stanley.
Maybe.
Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe.
What other
I
ending can
am
I do?
crazy.
That is a lot
He
of
looked
waiting.
down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket.
I mean, quiz
The
show.
bucket
I
returned
don't
his
know.
gaze, but said nothing at all.
No, 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 no.
That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort.
Oh, so
And that's
good.
when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find
So
it.
good.
Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley!
There you go.
Stanley, it's me!
I have quenched
the
my
bucket.
hunger for now.
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley!
Find me. Find
He had to
me.
find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket
Was inside of him all along. It was extremely incredibly painful.
Stanley.
Am I back on
doubled
sync now?
over
No, I'm not.
and blacked out.
When am I gonna be on sync? Look at
This
that.
is
That's
the
so good.
story
That
of
graph.
a woman named Mariella.
There's no information you can get from that graph.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Collapsed
Right
dead
away,
on the sidewalk.
She knew what the problem was. This man
Didn't-
had no bucket.
had no bucket.
Of course, he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Nice. Wow, early short hallway gaming. Yes,
When Stanley
you're
came to the set
gaming.
of 2 open doors, he entered the
Fucking
door.
huge.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to it. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Here's the door, just go.
Look at that speed. Yes. Yes, 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 yes.
Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
Ah, shit, this way. Okay.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat. Incredible.
Incredible.
Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
Did you think?
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
The suspense is killing me. Do do do.
Oh my God. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a timeout here for a minute while I process this.
Do 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 do.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No! No, wait! No! I need more time to process. Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive. You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what...
We're now a majority of the way through the run.
Suspense.
Let's
The
go.
agony of
68% of the way
and having
through
to
the run.
guess. That's the real thrill.
Based on the
I
splits.
simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so...
Oh, you're
so
gaming.
fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow? There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the
Bye-bye, Blaze Girls. Enjoy your dinner.
to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story?
Hopefully I'll see you in Bruffy's stream later
Why
today,
aren't we
if
given
you're
time
still
to imagine the
online.
surprises? To have to think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual reveal. This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years. And it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different.
It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley. Because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why, though I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well,
You still
I've
have
got
time.
a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not
so
much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially
Yeah,
mean
good.
a lot to
Oh,
the
not yet,
people
not yet.
who have been
Not yet at
following
2 hour
you
mark,
from the
not yet.
beginning.
Almost there.
They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh good, we're here. Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
Ready for Minecraft door opening sound?
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door. All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get them.
Go get him. Let's pitch a new car. 2 or 3. I know there's 2 cars that he hasn't seen yet, but there might be a 3rd one, but I can't remember. And yeah. Oh, Glod Gaming. Ay, fat finger. Yay.
The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better Stanley
And a
the bucket
better
tightly to
co-worker.
his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and
Yeah.
comfort now more than ever.
I think it's
Perhaps
exciting,
his
yeah.
boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I like the new car, so
Stepping into his manager's
actually wait, no,
office,
did he see the
Stanley
demo?
was once
No, he
again
did.
stunned to
He did see it
discover
already.
no indication of any human life.
Ah,
But
slow.
Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
It should be 2 things. No, yeah, it should be 3 things he hasn't seen yet.
Guiding him.
There are 3 things he hasn't seen
This is
yet,
certainly
yeah.
the most logical explanation.
And I mean, I don't know if you're on the Discord for PH, but basically, they're all racing cars. That's all I'm gonna say. You have to see the showcase later. They're all racing cars.
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing
No, I
about
think
the
I
number 3.
think they're
I want
cool.
to go back so I can try pressing the number
I also
3
gotta
again.
check my notes because for the random more, I need to remind myself what the combo I picked was. I didn't tell Bruff the combo. Just so even for him, he's unsure about it. But I think we should do a banker race just so that people know. Also, number 3.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over
Gaming.
to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
I feel like you have to press number 3 in this ending, but maybe I can watch the in-level record and realize I don't have to do
Said
that.
Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me.
I need
You
to-
and I have been through so much
What's
together,
in the
and I
car
just
list for
want you to
this
see
this
what I see.
stream's
Feel
random
the
more? I can't
happiness
remember.
I feel.
It's
He smiled at the
2015 this
bucket.
time.
The bucket said nothing.
I had to check the list of what cars we expect. Had GR86. I mean, I hope someone makes a mod of that, like a lore friendly version. What would that be in GTA terms? Isn't it like a Segoy, or am I wrong?
Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really
What would be
show
the
you.
GTA version of a GR86?
On it like a musician on a beloved
Because I can only think of the Segoy.
reading a concerto of truth and passion.
But does it look similar? I don't know. My memory is bad of what it looks like.
He told stories through the number 3. Stories of his dreams and hopes.
It'd be cool though if someone made
The
one.
whole time, he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all. Only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
There you go.
Stanley and the bucket were so close.
Yeah, I can't remember what. I can't remember your version. Whatever. It'd be cool. It'd be cool if someone made something like that.
Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator.
I wonder if someone, you know, the on like F1 days or IndyCar has it as well. You know the single seaters that has 2 seats or 3 seats. What if you made that for GTA? So like a Formula car with passenger seats. How weird would that look in GTA? That would be so cool to see.
I know how to fully express.
I don't know if it'll work though, cause like actually it might work. It should still work as normal, but I don't know.
He would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters.
That looks so funny.
Pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others.
I don't think it's an old one. I mean, from what I remember, is I feel like it's a mid. From my memory, a mid 2000s F1 car has that like multi-seat system for like, you know, hot laps that people can that pay for. I think it's an older F1 car. It's like either early, like late 2000s, early 2010s car, I think. So like maybe a converted BR8 with like passenger seats, maybe. I don't know. Just an idea I just suddenly got in my head. Or take the DR1, the Indy car, and then add passenger seats to it. That'd be funny.
To listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over.
When am I back on my splits, man?
Uninteresting. He was a failure. And in that moment, Stanley
Look how many purple splits I've gotten so far. That's insane. One of them's fake, obviously, but
no deeper understanding.
I'll have to fix that later. The
so
voiceover and song splits are wrong.
The two of them grew more and more distant. They spoke less and less.
They should not be goals.
Obvious that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends. And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
Gaming. Wow. Huge.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first.
Huge. First blue.
And here it was.
Actually gaming. Let's go.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and
now it's Phil's favorite end. I keep bringing that up. It's always so funny to bring up that Phil likes this ending.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right.
Yeah, it's Phil's song.
Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Okay, we're trying to near the end of these runs. We
Let's
have
see, we went down right, left,
2,
down,
4,
left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now.
6,
This story
8
is
more endings.
absolutely, definitely this way.
I think 8 more endings.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay.
Welcome back, Super Flipper.
Who am I kidding?
I'm good. How about you?
Rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable.
Big stretch.
Rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay.
From the top. My Twitch is, my chat isn't scrolling down. I'm on a 12 endings run right now. And I feel like, oh wow, look at that. What are the odds? Perfect timing.
When Stanley... Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm trying to hang on there for the next hour because I'm hungry.
Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change
Stanley.
anything when you were back in that room with all the monitors?
So damn hungry.
The story somewhere.
Oh my god.
Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere.
Yeah, this run has gone pretty well.
Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
What's the difference between in-game and live? In-game and live split? That's 2 minutes 16 difference, so take that off best possible time. This, it probably won't be, but this is on pace for a 308, but probably a 309. Hoping for a 309. Thanks, man. Hoping it does well. I've moved the troublesome endings to the beginning of the run, so hopefully the game doesn't crash at those points.
There definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over
Hopefully.
again. But it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot.
Why not?
All of his co-workers were gone.
What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything? Aha! I knew we'd miss something.
The story. Here it
Wait,
comes.
never mind, not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps. Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't
The
think so.
story.
I can't quite recall,
Here it
but I believe
comes.
my story took place in an office building.
Back to
Is
chilling.
that correct?
Nice.
Do you remember?
Meanwhile,
Stanley?
I'm
Well, you know what?
I'm
Since I've
hungry.
completely forgotten what you were supposed to be doing,
How about this?
You win.
Let's go.
Congratulations.
Yes.
I
Yes.
know you put in a lot of hard work. and it
Huge.
really paid off. So good.
You
job.
win.
Oh, no.
Get in there.
No, I don't feel right about
Huge.
this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time.
I have to restart.
All right, I've got a solution. This
Look,
time,
it's the
to make
line.
sure we don't get lost,
It's
I
the
can borrow
line.
The help of the Stanley Parable
Adventure line.
Just follow the line.
How
simple
kipper
as
was that?
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination Still a story.
Yeah, I want to get this.
Simply by the act of moving.
No, I'm aiming for
forward,
the
applying a
endless
gimme
song
such
run,
that
because I get the endless song run and I gone really fast, and
via the very manifestation of the
yeah,
nature
if I go
of life
faster
itself.
than the trigger that stops the song,
That got a bit
that shows
weird,
that I've gone really quick,
Well,
you
I'd
know?
like to apologize.
I'm trying to run for that.
I'm not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now
We got
is
it.
a bit of music to lighten the mood. Wait, cut the music.
No!
And look at that first.
No!
Wait,
We didn't get
we're
it!
back at the office?
No, that was frame perfect! We just missed it! No!
No, not again. How could you
No!
have done
I
this to
can't
us?
believe that
How could we
happened!
trust you?
It's
After
even
everything we've been
worse!
through?
This run's awful. I hate it.
This anymore, to hell with
I
it.
hate it.
Restart.
I'm unhappy. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, Phil. I'd like to. Here's my here's my video apology to Phil Hoff. I apologize for not getting the line song to play in the confusion ending. It was a mistake on my part. I could have done better, and I will do better next time to make sure that the song plays in its entirety.
Yes,
Thank you.
This is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be?
I've officially apologized to Phil.
Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just
Perfect time, no song. It's either a perfect time or is like a few milliseconds slower. Because I have had it where,
Here, the story is in our control.
you know, he says stop the like cut the music before the music even plays, so
Just walk in
it never cuts the song.
Okay.
I think that's the ideal fast. I got probably the second best result in terms of speed. Where
place where we're trying to go,
the song was to play for like the exact frame it ended, you know. Like the start of the song was exactly the same time when the song is meant to stop to the dialogue. Either way, I'm unhappy. I'm very sad. Can't believe that.
And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one.
Another victory for logic.
Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits. Oh, hold up, what's this?
Okay, we're still nowhere near PB.
Confusion ending.
I think once we get to cold feet, that's when our PB is gonna
It's
come
all
out.
about a giant ending, and we're supposed to restart the game what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined?
Determined?
So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this.
Eight
I
times?
won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're all
the
saying
journey.
life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually.
Big glod.
Well, in the meantime, if you...
Huge. Huge glod. Purple. Huge purple. Yay, short hallway.
Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket.
Still not.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him. telling him that the employee lounge was
That's simply the place to be.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable.
It's just sequel content.
We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes.
Whee!
Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it plays
Wait,
some
Phil's song.
music as well.
Da da da.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something. Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is
the Bucket Destroyer. Pong!
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready. Now listen
There
to
you
me.
go.
It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't
Whee.
destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is
Owen.
its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this
10
game can
personality
you even
traits.
say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this.
Okay.
The Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry
Here,
and feed
I'm
it.
hiding
We
next
can't
to a
get back to the
table.
classic
I won't get
Stanley
hurt now.
Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now. The fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
Dead. He's died. R.I.P. Stanley.
The Bucket Destroyer. My prized creation. You had so much potential.
Okay, this
We
is
were going to do such
lagging
marvelous things
less
with
than
details.
normal.
Spellbound
That's
stories about
so the fix I did has
orders
solved
now.
something.
Goodbye, new friend.
Insanity ending right now. Sleep. Resident sleep. Oh my god.
Magnificent.
Insanity is really just 5 minutes of cutscene. That's literally what it is. Just 5 minutes of just nothing happening. Obsession is the vent with the bucket. Come on, game. Come on, game. Yay!
It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so Stanley clutched the bucket
Dun,
tightly
dun,
to his-
dun,
This
dun,
was
dun.
not the correct way to the
Dun, dun,
meeting
dun,
room.
dun.
but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind.
Okay, we're back to, we're finally getting close to a PB split. That's crazy. You can finally compare where I am on based on my PB. Oh my god, finally.
Said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes.
Finally, man. Oh my god. Also, Dark Souls reference in the corner there? Wow. Weird stutter there. There you go. Game then right after Insanity.
This is day number 295.
Yeah, how is this FPS wise?
I don't even know.
Yeah, it's still bad, but whatever, I'll just deal with it. I have narrowed it down. It's lagging less, but I think it's just the cutscenes really intensive. I could lower the quality of the game, I guess, but They're cutscenes, so it's not like I gain or lose anything.
Sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same
feeling.
And
So after this ending, I have both cold feet to do. I have games and quiz to do. And then after that, it's choice and comedy.
No explanation for it.
And then should be settings and epilogue. We have, what's that, 8 more things to do. Gaming, 8 more things to do. This run looks solid. Let's hope it stays solid.
Everything feels so.
What do I do with this treasure?
I
can monetize it.
Monetize it.
Fucking hate this bit.
Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket.
With the bucket.
This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that?
What was that?
Who's there?
Who's there? Nice. Your ending is finishing student in mindset. So good. Hey. Let's go. Let's
Stanley came to
go.
a set of 2 open. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
I am in
Perhaps he
torture
wanted to stop
now.
by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
It was okay.
It was okay.
Okay, now I got time I can compare to now. There we go.
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
So I'm to jump after you can make it. I bet you can
Stanley
make
was
it.
so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Sorry to break it to you, Stanley, but that lift isn't coming back. You'd best either get comfortable right here on this platform, or test your luck
Please
to
help.
the floor below. You know what? Looking at it now, it's not that far to the bottom floor. I bet you can make it. Whoops. Looks like I was wrong. How clumsy of me.
Not bad. Alright, good luck. Oh my god, I'm fat fingering it again. Should be more aggressive with the pausing, restarting. I'm getting really unlucky right now. luck's not there right now. This is a bad split. Holy moly. That run of nice early hallways is gone. It's still much faster doing this than committing to a normal hallway. It's always faster. One in eight chance. There you go.
All of Stanley cradled the bucket.
Ah,
in a
damn.
embrace.
That's okay, whatever.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his. This was not the
Not a
correct
big
way to
deal.
the meeting
We just keep
room.
going.
But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge
Was simply the place to be.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
It's cold feet.
No,
Okay.
Said the bucket.
don't go to
There
the
you go.
meeting room.
Bit of time
go
loss.
somewhere else. The cargo.
Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Well, from here, it looks like the only way forward is down, since the lift won't be coming back, but that's okay.
Look at the time loss. Here we go.
Did you know that buckets are routinely
It's okay.
used as cushioning
Whatever.
devices? It's true. You can fall on a bucket from literally any height and survive. Whoops. Looks like I was wrong. How clumsy of me.
Yeah, whatever. It's okay. It's okay. It happens. Trying to say 10 seconds of my 12 pending run. I'm not getting any good hallways right now. Yeah, I say that. I got it now.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? When Stanley came to a set of
Games,
two open
okay.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay.
It was okay.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Baby game. Have fun with baby game.
Stanley was so bad
Just
at
change your
following
mind and just do
directions, he wasn't fired years ago.
change your mind and do art.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps
Flipper.
we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not sure.
I am not, now I am tired. Get the coffee.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the... What? Really?
No, man. Why not? Are you not interested in doing a 4-hour ending?
Why, I don't know how to convince you of this.
Does that
but
not
I
sound
really
interesting
do
to you
want
to do
to
4-hour
show you
endings?
something beautiful.
I'd rather go to sleep for 100
Let me
hours.
prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Naps are good, JD. I think get a nap. But you don't. You can, if you want, you can just leave me on. You know, if you really wanna keep me on, it's okay.
Fine, go ahead, Stanley.
Don't worry about it.
You know so badly what's out there. You want to find out what lies at the end of this road.
I mean, Mania sleeps during my stream, dude. So it's like,
You see?
all right.
There's nothing here.
Good luck for the rest of your
I haven't
game's
finished
ending.
building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here.
Mania
in the
literally
first place.
sleeps during my stream, so it's okay, JD. Don't
Is
worry
this
about
what
it.
you wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see.
Yeah.
Help me
I think,
here,
okay,
Stanley. Help
we'll
elucidate
see how
this
this
strange
run goes.
unknown
If it is really
desires
good,
of yours.
then I'm gonna
What
start
would
working
make
on
this game better?
any percent
What would
again.
you want to see?
I need to down patch the game, and I gotta find the files for that.
With me, you've given me
But
absolutely nothing so far.
once I'm very close to world record with this all endings, I might call it, because I'm not gonna beat
There
Sophia.
we go. A
She's too
third
good.
option.
I'm not gonna
This
beat her.
already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Oh, well, now this is useful.
Oh
You
well,
didn't like
wow,
it,
this is
but
useful.
You didn't totally hate it either. You enjoyed
Let me see if I can
it, perhaps is the
find
correct term. It didn't cause you excruciating pain.
her
Big steps we've
time.
made here today, Stanley. Here, based on the data from your
Yeah,
previous
307
playthrough,
is her
I
time.
compiled
If I get a
a
308, I'll be happy, but
perfect
yeah, we'll
candidate.
see.
I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look. Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors?
Again, honest answers, please.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Here it comes, the game.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life.
The demands of family life.
Will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So
Yeah,
why
best
don't you
possible
give it
time,
4
I want
hours
pace
of
for
play to make sure
308.
it's effective. Be sure to keep
Oh,
notes
my
on
best
your
possible is a
experience.
308, so let's see. You heartless bastard.
Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over.
Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable.
Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Firewatch.
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about,
Yep.
Stanley? What's our
I'm
backstory?
right behind
What's our
your
motivation?
I'm right behind your game's ending.
It seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it.
That must
What
be
a
it.
fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley, and it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there. Oh no. No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly
God,
block
like
it
the
off.
FPS. Whoa.
Thank goodness, Stanley.
Okay,
Close
let's
call.
explore. Let's try to game break.
That thing, that big open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any. Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing. Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box
Wow,
for
look
you
at
to
that
run around
massive
in.
frame
There
drop.
isn't
That's
any
crazy.
possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get
I can lower. I'll do
this
it
game,
next time.
I will be phenomenally impressed.
I'm guessing lower quality will make it nicer,
Okay,
but
so
I don't
exactly
care.
What do we do here? Let's see.
I'm just rocking
There are
here.
lots of
I'm not
cars here
gaining
at the
any
back, but
time.
obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here.
Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball.
Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley. Hold on. What are you doing? Stanley, don't do that.
I wonder what he found.
If what he wanted was to be
Yeah,
the
this might
leading
not be
man
a
in his own
best
story,
split because
well,
I
perhaps
lost a
he's
lot of
got
time
it.
getting hallways,
Down
I
in
think.
wherever he is right
Did
now.
I remember. I've
I
already
wonder if
forgotten
he's
this
happy
run.
with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me.
Needs me.
Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon.
That's okay.
I can wait.
I got bad hallway RNG, to be fair. God damn. This might not be a 308, it'll be a 309, I think. Just need better RNG on hallways, and that time will just add up. Because right now I'm just getting too many normals. I got papers, come on. There you go.
Stanley's bucket.
Stanley's
Stanley clutched the
bucket.
tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind.
The bucket was wrong.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo, good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk.
Buckets
But
can't
Stanley
talk.
chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he... No, stop! Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says,
No buckets past this point.
Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless... What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Is
Now
this
I'm
a
going
bucket?
to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin.
Dun, 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 dun.
Item 1. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
There we go. Item 2.
Item 2.
Is this a bucket?
Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 3. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket?
But no.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimme. How on earth did you manage to screw it up?
Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. This is a bucket. Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha. Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless... Is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
Yes.
You know
Everything
what?
is a bucket.
I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do
Yes,
any of
sir,
us
I'll be
know
on
what
for
a bucket
Bruff.
is?
That's my plan.
Am
I have to anyway. I'm hosting one of the random mores.
Stanley, I can't keep
So I had to
doing
be
this.
on.
I'm losing myself, and myself
Knapper.
was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
Oh no.
Okay.
Here we go. Thanos snap.
What happened? Is everything gone?
Okay.
Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket.
Kinda
either.
late now to add a
Wonderful
car.
news. We're not buckets.
I mean,
Yes, I actually feel
he's not gonna
much
be
more
on for another
It's still
3.5 hours. If you can get Kata to make sure that it's reset in time, be sussy.
So,
You can do it.
I'll
3 hours.
everything, and we'll put
Up
back
to you, I
all of the
guess.
buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information
Yeah, I got a
might
time
do
loss
to
because
a
I'm getting.
person.
I didn't get
Alright,
short hallways.
Here we go.
That's tough.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not
The
correct
moment
way
I
to the meeting,
complain,
and
I get a
Stanley
blue
was
hallway.
well.
Let's
Perhaps he
go.
wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
It was okay.
It was okay.
The
But
moment I
getting back to
complain, I get
business,
it.
Stanley took the
What's the
first
agenda?
open door on his
For Bruffy.
left. Stanley was so bad at
Nothing
following
special. I'm
directions,
just hosting the random more because he's doing the yearly races, like the yearly
Stanley, I
car.
think perhaps we've gotten
random
off on the
more.
wrong foot here.
That's the only thing I'm hosting. The rest is like, yeah, normal
I realize
5M
that
stream,
trusting
random
someone
all,
else can be difficult.
G-Fred, maybe a
Frankly,
cannonball,
the story has been
rally,
about nothing but
normal
you
hosting for
all
him.
this time. There's
For
someone you've been
showcase,
neglecting, Stanley.
There's
Someone
3 cars you have to I think 3 cars. 4 if you're gonna add your
Stop
car.
trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking. This is it, Stanley. Your
Guess I
chance
usually wish
to
for mod
redeem
cars.
yourself, to put your worth
That could be
aside,
cool, I think.
To let her
That would
back
be
into
cool.
your life. She's
So we need to
been
like make the list of all the cars added by. And that could be like
That's her, Stanley. Oh,
what we
no,
could
no,
do.
no,
I
you
might
can't-
talk to him about this. We're doing yearly races for GT 5 cars. We could then do yearly races for PH mods. That could be cool.
It's definitely
I
here,
think.
clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone.
Okay, I'll write that down.
Where he finds his wife.
That could be a fun
and the two
idea.
pledge themselves to one another.
So like
Music comes in,
the final
and
bit of the
all credits.
yeah every
Not
year's
picking up the
mods
phone is actually somehow an incorrect
since
course of action.
2017
How is that even
when
possible?
PH started.
None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything.
That'd be cool.
I don't understand. How on earth are you making
Let's use
meaningful
update log.
choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley.
You're a real person.
Damn, I'm gonna cringe looking at old models. I mean, the first year of that would just be all the meme shit, because I'm pretty sure almost all of it came from like the first 2 years of the server. That'd be so funny.
It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision.
Johnny and Zeppy handling era, yeah.
Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood,
That person is not real.
Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying,
My goodness, is it 4:30? I am supposed to be having a back second crack. Practice.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction.
Oh no, I can't remember if door opens in or out.
Informed on good decision making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Yeah, opens in. Figured.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before
yeah, I can relate.
Gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
I can relate to that, losing time. I didn't get, what was it? I think it was 80% glitchless because I had really bad hallway RNG.
After the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly
and always putting the story first.
I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead.
So much pain, yeah.
All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No!
Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
1073, damn. Unfortunate.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing
It's always the last ending that fucks you, isn't it? Honestly.
Worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is not incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge.
Danger everywhere.
Reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way.
Back here.
Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do?
Can I get through here?
No, I have to.
There's a wall here. There's a hard wall here. That sucks.
I have to.
All good.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny?
Funny?
You just had to see? Did I
See?
impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley?
320
He actually knows how to do what I tell him to.
Ooh, this
He
is gonna be-
understands that if I say to do
this is
something,
gonna be
there's
bordering
damn
a
good reason for
308.
it. That thought
This is
hadn't
bordering a
even
308.
occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh,
My story.
story. If you'd just gone through
Yeah,
the
keep
door
it
on
on
the left,
PB
you
now.
would
We're
see
that
that
close to
there's
the
a
end.
whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
He entered the door on his left.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley
There's
wondered in disbelief
bussiness
who
strategy.
orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Wait, what happened here?
Stanley spoke the code. Nightshark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Nightshark 115.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step. Okay, fine, you're not going to do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then
Why did you come here?
You had a choice, you know. You
could have gone to the door on the right.
You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You... When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello?
The end.
Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
The end. My god, it's the end. It's a spud.
Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything.
This is more important
Nice.
than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay.
Oh, I think I know why. Okay. I think we're gonna see the end of this credits. That it won't go fully off the screen, it'll stop in a bit.
That's all right.
There.
I'll wait for
It's because they added all the credits for the different subtitles
take as much time.
and the translations. And that image, this image of the credits is bigger than the original. So it stops there because in the original, it cuts off. Because the original didn't have so many translations. Interesting.
Is Stanley without the bucket really Stanley?
I've only just figured that out. Because it threw me off last time I streamed, because I thought I broke the game because the credits didn't go off screen entirely. I think it's just that.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley.
Oh, I think this is easy Theo-X. This is easy Theo-X. I just think maybe
Don't go to the
We're-
meeting room. Go somewhere
we're
else. The cargo is
evilly
good.
close to a 308.
Now ride the lift all the way to the
Let's
top.
see if we can
There's
get
something up
308.
there I need
It's
you to
very
do.
close for 308.
Stanley did not question why or
It's
how
a safe
the bucket
309,
was
but 308's
It
crazy
should have alarmed
close.
him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley
Let's
chose
try.
not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him.
Stay focused.
And he unthinkingly did whatever
Don't
the
take too much
bucket
risks.
In here.
said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again
Obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the...
Okay.
Hold on. Why did you
Ooh.
unplug the phone?
Interesting.
Were you trying to resist
I'm
the
curious
bucket's
what this will
orders?
be.
Stanley, I was joking. Obviously,
This is
the bucket
definitely a
isn't
30
talking to
a
you
30X
and telling you to
pace.
do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket. Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously.
Hello, Igor.
Well,
Welcome to the
that's a
stream.
joke. Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is.
Oh wait, yes there is.
It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing?
How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is
Yes. Let's
dive deeper.
Let's dive deeper.
If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke,
Provide a
including
brief
the
synopsis
specific
of
times
the
in which the
joke.
recipient of the joke will laugh, and then
1
Spell
second.
out
Oh
your
my
name a second
god.
time.
Actual
with
pain.
these steps
Flipper.
complete,
Actual
it's
pain
time
right
to
there.
begin the humor.
Oh my god.
Speak the entire joke
That's brutal.
in no more than 18 seconds and no less than
13
and a half,
half.
pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny."
Okay, let's practice
Let's
chat.
practice screaming,
Let's practice.
"I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I'm Dunny with the funny.
Good.
There you
This
go.
saying is
Excellent.
a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand
There
out
we go.
surveys.
There's the practice.
Collecting hard data from your audience
I'm
on how
Dunny
right they
with
were
the
throughout
funny.
the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, with each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence, and to very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed,
And may Earth reign supreme.
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind,
wow, what the hell?
I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors
What's happening?
and walk
Why
through
is
all of
it
this
spiking?
again,
That's weird.
so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
That's weird why it spiked there, but okay. Thank you, game.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept.
If it were
The
any
king
playing this
of
time,
comedy. That's what you'll
might
call
not
me.
submit it.
Thank goodness we have the instructional video.
I can't remember my
you know
run
where we'd be right
any
now.
percent glitchless.
But I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke
Aye,
to
aye.
Stanley.
The bucket spoke. The bucket spoke.
Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
Oh yeah, got 38-35. I forgot. I can't remember my runs.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. What? We're back at the phone already? No, what's going on?
No.
There were supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point, a dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land, well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video again. Yes, surely that will help me improve my... Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
I am proud.
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you...
Interesting. The sticker for the bucket is missing in this scene.
Yes.
But it's true. Any percent? Oh, it's basically any percent, but you have the bucket in epilogue. So you have to do normal any percent, but also sacrifice, and then in epilogue you pick up the bucket before you finish the game.
What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal.
That's the only difference.
No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos.
More instructional videos.
That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos. Let's see.
Here we go. We'll see how close it is. $3.24 apart, so this could be a high 308. Okay, come on. This won't be a world record. I don't think so. But I'm probably, hopefully, as long as I'm within 2 minutes of Sophia, I'm happy. You like being alone, don't you? Oh my god, what is the splits? 325. Ooh, it's gonna be a high 308. It's a high 308 this bit. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be laggy this bit. Yeah, it's okay, whatever. Whew, okay. Okay. This is another run where, like, if I had better hallway RNG, I would have been much closer. All it is right now is all down to hallway RNG. I think the route itself is pretty optimized. It's just hallways. Like, compared here, like that little spit of time loss, I think it's confusion. I don't know. If I hadn't got that, I would have been much closer. It's just that last bit just didn't get any short hallway for so long. Pretty unlucky. But I think this is still a good run. There should be a high 308. Actually no, it'll be a 309. It'll be a 309, won't it? Because like my brain is not mathing. It's a 309. 309 like 20 or something. Hopefully a low 309. I'm trying to get that. It's either be a 309. I think I did mental maths wrong, but whatever, it's okay. We move. Nah, I'll be a mid 309. I mean, it's my goal. I got my goal. That's what matters. I got my goal. Mid 309. Yeah, mid 309. I'm 2 minutes behind Sophia. Still. I know where some of that's from, but like, yeah, goddamn. It should be a 3920. There you go. I got my target. I'm 2 minutes behind, but I got my target. Oh my god.